and Boise State. And the night session of the Mountain West quarterfinals is underway at the Thomas and Mack Center.
Well, Fresno State will play mostly man-to-man. This is a team that likes to put pressure on you and force the issue in terms of turnovers. That will be big for UNLV.
And Jordan Cornish nearly turns it over, but it will stay with the Running Rebels. 17 seconds on the shot clock. UNLV has won 5 of its last games, including yesterday's first-round triple overtime game against Air Force, the first 3 overtime game in Mountain West tournament history. Careless pass by Seegers. Wamu recovers. Now McCall with 3 on the shot clock, and Marvell Harris tipped it, but out of bounds to UNLV with 2 seconds on the shot clock.
You know, they're a very interesting team defensively, Fresno State, because they steal the ball 8.5 times a game, but really don't press much. But you saw there, very quick hands.
Seegers has to chuck one up. It does hit the rim, but the rebound comes down to the Bulldogs. Their first offensive possession, averaging 75 points per game. They scored a season-high 111 against UNLV in their double overtime victory. And the Bulldogs are on the board with Julien Lewis.
Very experienced team, especially on the perimeter with Guerrero, Lewis, and Marvell Harris. These guys have played together for a long time.
3 senior guards. Certainly the backbone of this Bulldog squad that comes in with 22 wins and 9 losses, and they have a foul on the floor. It goes against Cullen Russo. Here are the 3 seniors in the backcourt.
And Guerrero and Julien Lewis in particular are 5th-year seniors, because Guerrero transferred from Oklahoma State and Lewis from the University of Texas.
Seegers attacks, hands off for Zimmerman down low. His shot is blocked. Edo got a hand on it, and the Bulldogs saved it from going out of bounds.
Well, he didn't go up very strong with that at all. And they need Zimmerman tonight. It's amazing they won yesterday with him being so limited, only 2 points and fouling out.
Harris gets that one to drop. Marvell Harris, the Mountain West Player of the Year. Trying to carry Fresno State in this Mountain West tournament as Zimmerman puts the Rebels on the board.
Very important to establish him in this game, so it's not just a perimeter, because they have 4 perimeter guys out there with Zimmerman. They've got to get something inside, and he's the only option they have in the lane.
Harris again, carbon copy of the last play.
Getting to the basket at will right now is Fresno State. UNLV defense doesn't look real intense at the moment.
Zimmerman guarded by Edo, and a travel. Zimmerman took too many steps. Time now to take a look at tonight's E-Trade game plan, Coach.
Well, for UNLV, they can't foul, but they have to play some defense. Right now, they're not playing defense because they have no depth. Establish Zimmerman, which is what they're trying to do. Fresno State force turnovers, which also will speed up the tempo of this game. They want to wear UNLV out.
Guerrero gets the bounce for the good job to get some separation and knocks down the jumper. Fresno State is 4 for 4 to start this game.
They're a very good offensive team, and as we said, they're experienced, but right now UNLV not really giving them much resistance at all.
Zimmerman missed the bunny first, but cleans it up. Inside, he's got all 4 for UNLV. Lewis from deep. It's good. Fresno State can't miss early on. They're 5 for 5.
And they went under that screen. Julien Lewis, a good shooter, not a great shooter, but he's a streaky guy.
Zimmerman over Lewis. And a technical foul has been called.
On Zimmerman for talking?
That appears to be the call. Let's take another look.
Well, they didn't do a good job playing that pick and roll. Edo especially didn't get back.
Now, it looked like Zimmerman may have pushed Lewis after he threw it down over him, and a quick whistle here in the Mountain West quarterfinals.
You know, that's one that beginning of the game, the kid's fired up. If he doesn't put his hands, let's say he puts his hands on Julien Lewis. mean, no, they ran into each other. I'm not so sure about that one, to be honest with you. Now, he was yapping a little bit. You know, I keep saying it. I grew up in New York City. Basketball is a game of a little bit of yapping, let me say. Now, maybe I couldn't play at this level anyway, but maybe I couldn't play nowadays because everybody had to keep their mouth shut. It wasn't one of my strengths.
You could talk at this level.
Yes.
I don't know if you could play at this level.
It wasn't one of my strengths to keep my mouth shut when I used to play or coach.
Or
actually.
coach. Wow, an impressive dunk nonetheless, but now the officials are sorting out the extracurricular, and we're going to get Eric Curry to come over.
Foul on 0. Then we have a dead ball contact. Foul on Zimmerman for the elbow after the play. So we're going to shoot the 2, then 2, and then they get the water.
Dead ball, contact technical after the and one. So that means the ball was dead when he ran into Julien Lewis. They thought he did it on purpose. So it's a dead ball technical foul, which means they'll shoot the 2 and 1. Then they'll go down the other end, and Fresno State can pick whoever they want to shoot it, because a dead ball technical, anybody can shoot it that the coach wants to shoot it.
So Zimmerman now will shoot the and one for UNLV. Bucket count explained, and there's the three-point play for Zimmerman, who has all 7 of UNLV's points. Now, because of the technical, Fresno State will send Cesar Guerrero to the line. He's 71% on the year.
And that's a key difference between that and a flagrant 2. On a flagrant 2, the guy who gets fouled has to shoot them. In this case, because it was a technical, you could pick whoever you want to shoot it. As you see Julien Lewis, the one who was offended, not the one shooting the ball.
2 for 2 for Guerrero.
And the other thing is, because it was a dead ball technical foul, it is now not point of interruption. It is now, which it would have been their ball anyway because Zimmerman scored, but it's Fresno State's ball.
You know, and also a minor thing in all this, which might not be so minor come the end of the game. Just over 3 minutes in, Zimmerman picks up a foul. He fouled out yesterday. He's got to be careful with how short-handed UNLV is.
No doubt that is an issue. Any foul that they get in this game, that's a great point, Andrew. Any foul they get in this game is an issue.
Lewis makes Fresno State 6 for 6 from the floor to start. Seegers for 3. It's good.
That's a big shot. The kid struggles today from the field, but he gutted it out. He's got a bad foot, a bad heel, actually. Really struggling. To play the minutes that he played yesterday and be out here today is really a credit to him.
Harris just inside the arc for 2, and Fresno State still has not missed a shot.
Yeah, the defensive intensity is certainly not there. And one thing about UNLV, they've played very well defensively all year, but not tonight.
Zimmerman is fouled down low by Edo. Well, Fresno State red hot. UNLV trying to keep up.
Well, one thing about UNLV, they got to keep these guards out of the lane or it's going to be a long, long night. And Seegers knocking down the 3.
Double overtime game that Fresno State won 111 to 104. In that game, Marvell Harris had 37 points for the Bulldogs. Zimmerman had 2 points yesterday against Air Force. He's already got 9 in the first 4+ minutes tonight.
I like what Todd Simon is doing at the start of this game. He didn't have him last night, but he's going to make sure he's got him tonight.
Carter is fouled inside. Well, time now for the Avocados from Mexico, freshman profile, and Steven Zimmerman Jr. with a solid first campaign at UNLV, nearly averaging a double-double. He did not win Freshman of the Year. That went to Jeremy Hemsley of San Diego State.
He had a good year. He got hurt. He missed 5 games towards the end of the season, which obviously meant, made a big difference for him. But since Todd Simon has taken over, they've gotten the ball to him or made a point of getting him involved in the offense more than they did before.
Wamu attacks and scores. A strong, aggressive move by the senior Ike Wamu.
Well, Russo was guarding Wamu. One thing about Wamu, he's not a 4-man. Russo is a real power forward. Wamu's a 3-man. He just blew by Russo there. That's going to be a tough matchup for him.
Harris with the first miss of the night for Fresno State. But Wamu gives it right back. Guerrero leading a 3-on-2 break. Guerrero missed it. Russo misses as well. So after hitting their first 7, Fresno State has missed 3 consecutive shots. Ball out of bounds to the Bulldogs, who make a substitution. Jamel Taylor checks in for Rodney Terry, and Guerrero comes out. Taylor has really provided a spark for Fresno State. He had to sit out the first semester. He transferred from Washington last year. But since coming aboard at the beginning of January, he's done a real nice job as Julien Lewis connects from the outside. He's the leading 3-point shooter at 40%.
Well, he's doing a great job tonight, coming off screens, and he's ready to just fire.
Already in double figures with 10 points. That's just the 9th time this year he's been in doubles. Cornish can't answer, and the rebound to Taylor. Here's Carter trying to spin on Zimmerman. Now trying to go up strong, and he does. Terrell Carter is 285 pounds, so he's got 45 pounds on Zimmerman down low. Seegers the lob to Zimmerman. Carter lost his man, and Zimmerman made him pay. Zimmerman has already surpassed his scoring average. He's got 11. He averages just better than 10 per game. Harris stops and pops from deep. It's off the mark, and Wamu with the board.
Still a pretty good shot by Fresno State.
Wamu with a bad entry pass to Zimmerman, and Harris takes it away. Numbers for the Bulldogs. Harris coast to coast for 2.
He is so strong that you just feel like when he's going to the basket that he can't be stopped. Leading the league in assists also. A tough guy.
And Zimmerman can't top right now. He's got 13.
They're letting him get positioned too deep in the paint. Got to front him a little bit and try and deny him the ball. Let him catch it way too easy.
Here's Russo. Some fadeaway jumper in and out. Wamu's 3rd rebound, and he gives it away again, but Zimmerman has it at midcourt, stolen away by Taylor. Now Harris will set up the Fresno State offense.
And UNLV sticking with this man-to-man that's been kind of rough to start.
Fresno State has scored at least 80 points in 3 straight games. They're on that pace again as Harris with the reverse. Oh, that's good stuff from Marvell Harris.
You know, it's good stuff, no question about it, but where is the help on the baseline?
McCaw for 3, his first points of the night. Well, if you like offense, you're loving what you've seen 8 minutes in. If you like defense, our apologies.
You know, I just think that this is a tough pace for UNLV to maintain. This is like an 80-point pace that we're on here. I don't know if that's great for them after last night.
Carter fumbles it, gets it back, puts it up, and it won't go. Rebound to Russo, back up and in.
There aren't a whole lot of stops in this game, that's for sure.
Zimmerman for 3. And that won't go. Just his 17th 3-point attempt this year for Steven Zimmerman. Marvell Harris. How about this reverse? Fresno State up by 8. Kubota. Fresno State leads 29-21 with 11:08 to go in the first half.
I give Todd Simon credit. Now he's picking up full court. He thinks these guys have plenty of juice in them. That's good for him.
Substitutions for the running Rebels. Jalen Poyser has checked in. He's the only scholarship player to come off the bench tonight. And also there is Barry Cheney, a walk-on, who was a big part of UNLV's win yesterday as Poyser attacks and scores. Barry Cheney yesterday played 19 minutes in the win over Air Force. He had played a total of 17 minutes the entire season before yesterday, and now an illegal screen set by Fresno State. It's the second on Edo, and he has to come to the bench.
Well, take a look at Poyser's basket here. Where is everybody? We got guys pointing, and nobody knows who they're supposed to get, and he just goes right to the basket.
So Edo comes out. Big second foul picked up by the junior as UNLV can't get that one to go. Wamu attacking, and now the Bulldogs in transition. Lewis stumps it down low to no one. Just the second turnover for Fresno State midway through the first half.
And you know, he had a shot there. He's been knocking it out. Surprised that he even thought about passing that.
Seegers on a bad heel is fouled on the drive before the shot. That's the first against Taylor. And Wamu will inbound. Wamu, as we mentioned, 55 minutes yesterday. But all 55 as Cornish was looking for a foul. Out of bounds. Fresno State a little sloppy on the baseline.
Yeah, their defense is normally much better than this. They're in the top 75 percentile in terms of man-to-man defense in the half court, and it hasn't looked that way so far.
Seegers back out Cornish. He penetrates, trying to use the glass. It won't go. Right to Seegers. His shot is blocked by Russo. Marvell Harris brings it up the floor for Fresno State. Gets some separation. His jumper is off the mark, and there is Cornish for the rebound. And a 6-point Fresno State lead. Cornish trying to go coast to coast, and he's fouled.
This is the most aggressive I've ever seen Cornish, and I've seen him play a lot. You know, obviously, it's not a bad situation to be in where you know they can't take you out, so you don't worry about making a mistake.
Not many options for Todd Simon on that UNLV bench. Derek Jones ruled ineligible because of a canceled ACT score last week. Ben Carter tore his ACL earlier in the conference season. Dwayne Morgan is out his 6th straight game with a shoulder sprain. Never miss a moment of college basketball with the CBS Sports app. Every play, every score, every game, and every highlight right as they happen. Download the CBS Sports app now. Good luck Okinobo, transferred in November. I mean, the hits have just kept on coming all year long for UNLV. And the fact that they were able to scrap through it and fight through so much adversity to be in this position really is a testament to not only the kids in the program, but the job this coaching staff has done. On the shot clock, Lewis, finger roll off glass was good. A dozen for Julien Lewis. He came in red hot last 3 games, averaging 21 points per game. Seegers bulldozes his way for 2.
Seegers looks very good right now. I mean, he's got a little hop in his step.
Harris is fouled before the shot, and Harris goes to the ground, grabbing his left hip. Appears to be okay. Gets some help up from his teammate Paul Watson. can see that Harris landed right on his side.
Yeah, it looked like his ankle gave way there.
Substitutions for both teams, but Harris remains on the floor. He's already in double figures with 10 points. It's the 30th time this season that Marvell Harris has been in double figures. The Mountain West Player of the Year, leads the conference in assists and assist to turnover ratio as well. That won't go, but Carter cleans it up.
I think Carter pushed off in the back that time.
Here's Cheney for three. Front of the rim. He's only scored 5 points the entire season, just his second three-point attempt.
And he's denying Marvell Harris the ball. The walk-on guard, the Player of the Year.
Harris gets free. Fakes, drives, missed it. A foul is called late. And UNLV fans in attendance don't like that. 7:13 to go. First half. Fresno State still on top, 33-26.
Injection. It was Seegers who got a pain-relieving injection in that right heel that's been nagging him, and it's obviously been pretty effective to start this game. We'll see how it lasts throughout the rest.
5 points, 4 assists already for Seegers. Thank you very much, Evan. As Harris will have one more.
One thing about Harris, 225 free throws coming into this game. That's a lot of free throws on the season.
Number one in school history in free throws made and free throws attempted, and also in points. 1,964 now for Marvell Harris, the all-time leading scorer in Fresno State history. McCaw catch and shoot, book it.
And that was Russo again getting caught guarding a perimeter guy. Could not guard McCaw coming off that screen.
Cheney out on Russo. Russo drives, and it's out of bounds to UNLV. And here come the running Rebel fans.
Well, you're going to see McCaw coming off the screen right there. Look at Russo. He is dragging, not getting out strong enough or fast enough to catch up to McCaw.
On the shot clock. Seegers calling out a play. Cheney feeds Zimmerman with 4 to shoot. Zimmerman turnaround shot off the mark. Poyser trying to clean it up. It won't go. They reset the shot clock, and Poyser travels. That is the 7th turnover against the running Rebels.
Changed his pivot foot. Really should have just tried to kick that out right away instead of scoring on all the big guys in the lane.
Since Todd Summon took over for Dave Rice, UNLV is 8-1 at the Thomas and Mack Center, averaging 85 points per game. Now, this is a neutral court tonight, but it is UNLV's home court as Lewis puts in 2 more. And UNLV has fared very well under Simon in this building. Paul will take another 3. And a rebound to Guerrero.
Nice box out by Guerrero that time.
Boxed out Cheney for the rebound. As we approach 5 minutes to go, Lewis has had the hot hand, but not this time. Tipped right out to Guerrero. That's a 2, and it's good. No, now they're going to call it a 3. They will check it in the next timeout.
Texas has been great off the dribble. He's also made 2 threes in this game, but getting into the lane, it seems like at will, going 6 for 8 from the field. So UNLV's got to do a better job with their man-to-man defense because these guards, in particular Lewis, getting wherever they want with the bounce.
Fresno State comes in on a 6-game win streak. That's the longest of the Rodney Terry era, and they've also won 8 of their last 9. Finished 2nd place in the Mountain West. Best seed for a conference tournament for Fresno State since 2001. And the officials are still looking at that Guerrero jumper, which was initially called a 2, then a 3. Looks like foot on the line.
I would say that's a 2. They didn't take it off yet. Yes, they did.
Now the scoreboard in the arena says 37-32. Initially a 2, now called a 3 for Cesar Guerrero. Cheney for 3. It's good! First 3-pointer of the season for the walk-on, Barry Cheney.
This guy doesn't look like a walk-on, I'm sorry. The shot he took before was a good shot, and that one was definitely a good shot.
And that brings the crowd to life here with the running Rebel fans. Lewis trying to answer, he can't. Poyser deep 3. And the rebound to Ellison. Trying to find Carter, saves it from going out of bounds. Now is the mismatch on Seegers, blocked by McCaw. Good help defense by McCaw. Running Rebels in transition. Cheney again. No. But Seegers the offensive board. Hands off to Cheney. He goes up with it. And that shot is well off the mark. And now Ellison has it.
All right, Cheney got to take it a little easy now. A little easy.
Guerrero for 3. And now over the back is called against Fresno State. Russo called for the foul.
Wow, I thought that
timeout on the floor.
I thought that was Poyser's foul right there.
38-30. Freshman from Ontario. He's the #1 ranked player in Canada last year. And he makes the front end of a 1-and-1. Poyser played 25 minutes last night in the win over Air Force. Fouled out in regulation. Only scored 3 points. 1 out of 2 at the line.
I think Fresno State has to try and establish one of these big guys in the lane also. That's not a good shot.
McCaw, the lob to Zimmerman, tough pass. He makes the catch, nowhere to go. Had it stripped away. Good defensive play by Taylor.
When the big man puts the ball down, that's when all the little guys can get it. You got to keep that ball up high.
Sam Bittner is checked in. He's got the ball with 10 on the shot clock. Harris with 5. And a bad foul by Wamu. They say it's before the shot, but the shot clock was at 2.
Yeah, it was a bad foul, but he was coming out on the hottest guy on the floor, so his closeout was tough because he thought Julien was going to make this. He just closed out a little bit too hard there, out of control.
First foul on Wamu with 2:59 to go.
UNLV switching every screen. Steven Zimmerman has Bittner, who's a 3-point shooter. they were kind of all over the place defensively. Wamu's on Carter.
Harris misses. Bittner crashing the boards, and he's called for a foul. True freshman from Las Vegas, Sam Bittner, back in his hometown. Averages 10 minutes per game for Rodney Terry's club.
Seegers back into the UNLV lineup along the corner.
And now Jerome Seegers is back in, and Barry Cheney receives a nice hand as he goes to the bench.
Those were good minutes by Cheney, no question. And he didn't get burnt defensively either.
Poyser back at the line, 1-1.
I'll say this about Cheney. Walk on. He got it squeezed up 4 shots.
They need him.
Yes.
They absolutely need him. 19 minutes yesterday. And with all the minutes that McCaw and Wamu and Seegers logged yesterday, Cheney provides a bit of a break for Seegers, who's now back in. Fresno State scoreless in 2 minutes and 45 seconds. Their lead is down to 2. Taylor's shot won't go. Fresno State's gone ice cold. UNLV can tie it or take the lead. Wamu somehow does not turn it over. And Poyser took his eye off it. Turnover number 9 for UNLV.
And you would think that with 9 turnovers, which is what Fresno State does, they force a lot of turnovers, that they'd be doing a better job. Their intensity defensively has not been great in this game either.
Seegers had a hand on Carter and is called for a foul.
I mean, that was a smart play by Fresno State. They saw the switch. They switched Seegers from the smallest guy in UNLV to Carter, the biggest guy on Fresno State, and they looked for him, and obviously Seegers got a foul. Seegers back on him again. They should duck him into the middle of the lane right now.
Taylor, red hot. Excuse me, Lewis rather. 17 now for Julien Lewis. He averages just under. It's a UNLV timeout. Coming up on AT&T at the half, we'll be going to our New York studio where Adam Zucker, Wally Zerbiak, John Rothstein, and Doug Gottlieb will get you caught up on all the latest scores, highlights, and conference tournament updates. It's all coming up on AT&T at the half. The officials want to take another look at that last 3 from Lewis.
That's 3.
17 for Julien Lewis.
It's been kind of a strange game so far.
8 points per game. He's 7 out of 10 and 3 of 4 from deep. The senior Julien Lewis carrying this Fresno State offense in the first half.
Yeah, because they've got nothing from their big guys. Edo, Russo, Carter.
Edo has not come back in since that second foul. Wamu's 3 won't go. And the rebound to Carter.
Yeah, I don't like keeping a guy out that long either with 2 fouls. I always like putting him back in a little bit.
Bittner straightaway 3. As we approach 1 minute to go in the first half. Wamu steps into a triple. And Carter the board. UNLV is 4 of 12 from deep. Lewis can't get that one to go, and McCall comes away with it. Bittner coming right in our house, and it's out of bounds to UNLV. There is a timeout on the floor. 36 seconds remain in the first half.
it doesn't, I mean, it's a conference tournament, but you're not feeling like the intensity on the floor. It's kind of like everybody's loosey-goosey, playing, shooting, whatever, but nobody really getting into it now.
Certainly on the defensive end. UNLV has made one of its last 9, and they're going to try to squeeze this clock down.
I don't think it's a bad idea, even though obviously Fresno State's going to get the last shot of the half. I don't think it's bad. I think that they got to be happy if they go into the halftime down 5 or maybe down 3.
Now 5 on the shot clock. McCaw feeds Zimmerman. And it comes away to Lewis with 7 seconds to go. Lewis from the free throw line. Jumper is no good. Lewis throws it back up, no good. And now Poyser has it, and that will do it. Fresno State's lead is 5.
Okay with it. He said he wants his guys to play loose, get up and down. He said that's our identity right now. As for Julien Lewis, he said we have to force him to the baseline, be more physical with our approach on him, guys.
Evan, thank you. Fresno State with the basketball to begin this second half. A spot in the Mountain West Conference Tournament semifinals is on the line. The winner of this one will take on the winner of the nightcap here in Vegas between Colorado State and Boise State. Russo's 3 won't go, and McCaw, the weak shot rebound.
You know, I totally agree with Todd Simon's assessment of the turnovers. I don't think Fresno State has forced a lot of those turnovers by UNLV.
Cornish's 3 off the mark, and here comes Guerrero off to the races. Guerrero hands off to Russo for 2.
That was a picture-perfect fast break. Ball in the middle of the floor, 2 guys running wide lanes and taking it to the basket.
Cornish out to McCaw, and now Wamu will reset with 8 on the shot clock. Wamu goes right around Russo, hands off to Zimmerman, and it's an offensive foul called against UNLV. A delayed reaction by the officials.
Well, you take a look at this fast break. Ball in the middle of the floor. Julien Lewis going on the right lane. Russo running the left lane. That's how you want to run a 3-on-2 fast break.
Foul was on Wamu. That's his second. Fresno State with the ball and a 7-point advantage. Harris gets by Zimmerman for 2.
You know, that's been something we've seen, and that's a violation now on UNLV.
Sloppy turnover number 11 by the running Rebels.
That drive by Marvell Harris, we've seen UNLV not help on a lot of those drives, and he's wide open there.
UNLV looks lost here to start the second half.
Lost or gassed? I don't know, Andrew.
Largest lead for the Bulldogs, it's 11.
You know, in the beginning of the game, you've got that adrenaline going. Can you keep it going? That's a good move.
That might wake him up as Wamu throws it down.
But that was another example. I think the last 2-3 plays has been like we're in the park. Like, there was nobody there defensively at all.
McCaw with a steal, and McCaw all alone for the flush. Patrick McCaw, 5th in the country, averaging 2.5 steals per game.
Marvell Harris needs to know better. You can't cross over on Patrick McCaw, put the ball right in front of him.
Edo lost it, and Zimmerman running the break. Hands it off to McCaw, gets by Lewis, and 6 quick points for UNLV.
Couple of turnovers, and all of a sudden the game turns again.
Edu up and missed it. Gets it back, right up again, and he's fouled. Karachi Edu missed an easy one, but now he draws the whistle. And that's the 3rd on Zimmerman.
I mean, where is the help? That's really bad defense there. And then he tries to cross over on Patrick McCaw. Well, he thought he kicked it. But you can't sit there and complain to the referee. You know, you tell him, don't complain to the referee. Keep playing. If you don't hear a whistle, you should keep playing.
Lewis appears to be a bit shaken up, but tells the official he's okay. Edo's at the line. He only played 5 minutes in the first half because of 2 fouls. And he's got his first point of the game. Poyser in, and Zimmerman comes out with his 3rd foul. So just like yesterday in the triple overtime win over Air Force, Zimmerman in foul trouble.
Well, the big question now is who's Edo guarding? They got 5 guards in the game.
And who's guarding Edo?
And who's guarding him? Well, that's why you got to make them pay on that end. But they went a little zone. Had to go zone.
Seagears baseline.
This is terrible defense. I'm sorry. There was no special move. It was just, I'm going to lay it in the basket.
Edo calling for it. McCaw is trying to guard him, and Edo wins that battle. First field goal tonight for Karachi Edo.
Another layup.
Wow. Poyser missed it, though, but you're right. The C's parted on that drive by Jalen Poyser. Harris to a wide-open Edo.
I mean, whoever decides to pick it up intensity-wise on the defensive end is going to have a huge advantage.
Wamu catch and shoot deep 3. And Harris the rebound. Harris end-to-end. Won't go. Russo. His shot's partly blocked. Poyser corner 3. UNLV can't get one to drop from the outside.
That was another one. I can't believe guys are this wide open in a conference tournament, I swear.
Harris. Seager's long pass up ahead to Wamu. Nice catch, and he lays it in the foul. That was an aggressive pass by Jerome Seagers, but he connects with Wamu, who's got a chance at 3.
Right now, it looks like a playground to me. You got to get back fast, especially if you're Marvell Harris.
San Diego State earlier today on CBS Sports Network. A tough game against 9th-seeded Utah State. Aztecs found a way to get it done. They will take on Nevada in the first semifinal tomorrow night here in Las Vegas after Nevada pulled out a tight one over New Mexico. Lewis is fouled on the drive.
This may be the most dribble penetration I've seen in a month. Every play is going to the basket. I think right now with Fresno State, you got to get Edo the ball a little bit. He's got all perimeter players. Zimmerman's out. You got to make him pay a little bit.
Foul was on Seagears. That's his 2nd. Zimmerman still on the bench with 3 fouls. That's why Edo has the advantage on the floor as Lewis knocks in that 2nd free throw. We send it over to Evan Washburn.
Well, Coach Lapis, you're not the only one that's questioning the intensity, especially from that Fresno huddle that last time out. Those players getting a mouthful from assistant coach Byron Jones about the intensity. Also, just something to keep an eye on. Lewis has some bleeding in that right nostril, his nose. You saw him messing with that earlier.
All right, Evan, thank you. McCaw misfires from deep, and here's Marvell Harris.
That was a much better defensive set there.
Edo, and that's why they should feed. And Seagers is fouled on the drive. Well, look, we established this off the top. This is the point in the game where you really wonder about UNLV and their legs. Triple overtime last night, a short bench already. How much they have left for the final 14 minutes?
Well, and then right there, they just throw it in. There's no help on the weak side. You got to bring the guy in from the weak side if you're going to front the big, strong kid like Edo. But you're right, Andrew, and that's why Fresno State needs to bring the intensity because that will wear UNLV out a little bit more.
Cornish drove right into traffic, gets it back and scores. And now some full court pressure by UNLV. They back off and Guerrero brings it up the floor. Seegears is guarding Edo down low. Edo is calling for it. Russo instead sends it to Guerrero, who knocks down the triple.
That was good offense because Cheney was cheating in there on Edo, and he was the one that was guarding Guerrero. So he thought he had the help inside. He leaves Guerrero alone. They recognize it. He has an open three.
9 points for Guerrero, and Seegears is fouled. That's the third on Marvell Harris with 13:23 to go. Rod Terry looking down his bench, but he's going to keep Harris in. Wamu, 18-footer is good.
Off for 1 foot.
Eight-point Fresno State lead. Nearly a steal by Cornish. Now Edo on the block, and that's just too easy.
Good offense, and you're right, very easy, but that was good recognition by Fresno State. Now trying to look at the big guy a little bit.
Seegears' three is way off mark. And Seegears with the steal. Up ahead for McCaw, tough pass. McCaw tracks it down. Over to Seegears, who tips it to Cornish. McCaw left open for three, knocks it down. A 7-point lead.
I'll be honest, Russo has not been very good tonight and has not played particularly hard either.
Russo's 2 for 7. He's got just 4 points. Wamu knocks that out. It'll stay with Fresno State. Sunday at 5:30 Eastern, the toughest sport on dirt takes the stage in the South with the PBR Built Ford Tough Series Duluth Invitational right here on CBS Sports Network, the 24-hour home of CBS Sports. Lewis with just 1 point in the second half. I haven't told you he's been bleeding in his nostril. Has a piece of paper in there now to try to stop the bleeding. Edo into doubles. Karachi Edo did not see much of him in the first half because of foul trouble. He has sprung to life here in the second. And Zimmerman quickly at the scorer's table. Todd Simon can't keep his big guy on the bench any longer.
No, now you see what they're doing. Smart by Fresno State getting him the ball that much. But Edo, that time he threw that thing to the floor.
Cornish is fouled. 11:37 to go. Fresno State leads at 62-53.
Well, Marvell Harris with the penetration. And here comes Edo down the middle for the big time to the floor. It didn't even hit the net almost.
Which is even more impressive that his hair looks that good, that he's been here for 9 hours. Cornish misses the first free throw. He's a 60% free throw shooter. Cornish had a career-high 20 last night against Air Force, but he's 1 of 6 from the floor and 4 points now tonight.
And they're bringing the full court pressure. Great job by UNLV in defending that pick and roll. Took Harris completely away from it.
Harris had it poked out, and a foul is called. That's the third on Seegears. He does not agree with 11:12 to go.
Well, Marvell Harris, he's a stop-and-go guy. He stops, he pulls his head up, goes, changes speeds very well.
Lewis, tough shot. And Carter, the offensive board and put back. Terrell Carter is given Rodney Terry some nice minutes off the bench tonight. To UNLV's big three. He's combined for 26 points after they scored 85 yesterday.
Wow, that's his 4th foul.
That's the 4th on Harris with 10:49 to go. That's the risk that Rodney Terry took, keeping him in.
Should have had him out for a few minutes, especially with that lead. 8 points, 10 points. If it gets back to 2, you put him back in, or 4. You had room to play with.
We said Rodney Terry was looking down his bench, thinking about it when he picked up his 3rd foul, and now Harris has to come out with 4.
Now, I personally don't think that was a foul, I have to say. I mean, that was not a good ball.
Nonetheless, Harris on the bench, and UNLV maybe now. Let's see if they can take advantage.
It's a lot when you're playing without the player of the year.
Lewis gets the bounce. Now 20 from Julien Lewis. Fresno State has its largest lead at 12.
He had so much backspin on that thing, it just ended up dropping in.
Wamu for 3. It's good. A dozen for Ike.
And I think Rodney Terry's got to try and buy 5 minutes with Marvell Harris out. He's going to be in charge.
It is on Carter.
I saw that coming. That's one of those ones if I was coaching, I'd be no now. Oh, no. I saw that. That's when you saw a mile away. You know, when a big kid like Carter starts to, you know, wheel down the lane from the top of the key, probably not going to end up good.
Does usually add up to trouble. McCaw, and he gets the bounce. 66-59.
You got to give them credit. The UNLV kids, we said it in the open. They're going to play with a lot of heart, and I don't know what's going to happen the rest of the way. They've played with a lot of heart.
And Fresno State calls timeout with 9:37 to go.
Perimeter in that game. They should go with Zimmerman. He's got 3 fouls. You know he's going to do everything he can to not foul.
Terrell Carter, who averages 3 points per game, now has 9 to go along with 5 rebounds.
You know, he's a good player because he's a big, strong guy, and he's got great feet. Big guys need feet and hands.
McCaw, air ball. McCaw at a career-high 28 at Fresno State. Back on February 6th. He's got 15 tonight. Taylor's 3 won't go. Offensive rebound for Carter. Spins on Zimmerman. Gets some room and scores.
This kid can play. Now, granted, Zimmerman's doing everything he can to not pick up that 4th foul, but give Carter credit. He's finishing them.
Just the 4th time this year he's been in double figures. And a foul is called in the drive by Seagears. Carter's career high came against UNLV at 14 points, and now 11 more tonight.
Yeah, Zimmerman obviously not resisting at all over there. Got to do a better job putting a body on him, and at least, even if you're not gonna foul, put your foot on the baseline and make him spin to the middle where there's some help. There's no help on the baseline. That's why people say don't let a guy drive baseline. There's no help there. Make him go to the middle, and maybe you get a little help.
Seagears will shoot 2. Team's leading free throw shooter at 79%. Carter and the rest of UNLV watching. They began the season 8-2, had wins over Indiana and Oregon, but began Mountain West play 0-3. Dave Rice was fired. And they've been short-handed much of the second half of this season with injuries. And now Derek Jones being ruled ineligible because of an ACT score.
Yeah, it's been a really upside-down year, but as you said, give Todd Simon a lot of credit.
Carter right at Zimmerman. His pass deflected. Now Taylor right back inside to Carter, and he can't miss. 13 for the big fella.
I'm telling you, this kid can play. He's got a soft touch. And a great help there on Seeger.
And he has to call timeout. And with the way that UNLV has played so many minutes in the last 24 hours, these timeouts are precious. They have to use one here with 7:52 to go. It bought him some time.
And they need to buy him 3 more minutes.
The call and the foul. Second foul on Julien Lewis.
I thought Russo did a good job there, and he came down on him. He should just pat his hand straight up.
So now McCall at the line. Edo checks back in, replacing Russo.
They're going with the all-power lineup now with the 2 big guys in the game. Because Russo can play outside. Now they got 2 big guys that play in the lane. I want to see what this does for their spacing.
Lewis gets rid of it to Edo. And now Ellison brings it across. Taylor spins, tried to find Edo down low. He does. He missed it on the baseline.
He rushed it.
McCall, it poked away, gets it back and scores.
And all of a sudden, a couple of bad plays by Fresno State. Marvell Harris now is coming back in the game.
20 for McCall. Earlier this week, named second team All-Mountain West. Taylor's 3 no good.
That's not a good shot at all.
McCall starting to feel it. Backs it out to Cornish, and now Seegers will set it up for the running Rebels. Takes the screen from Zimmerman. Back to Zimmerman. Zimmerman missed it. And Taylor has it.
Didn't really go up strong with that one.
Lewis drives right through and scores.
Got to stop the ball in transition all the time.
Pace of this game has picked up in the last couple of minutes. And UNLV turns it over, their 12th of the night. Lewis was mad that he didn't get the ball on the break from Ellison, who still has it. Now he gets it to Lewis. Crowd thought it was a
travel, I guess.
Travel. Taylor, deep 3. It's good. Jamel Taylor splashes it from deep.
I'll tell you, if I'm Rodney Terry, I'd take Marvell Harris off there and bring him back to the bench.
Harris is still at the scorer's table.
I think he was right for wanting to put him in when he did, but doesn't need him now. He can buy a little more time if he wants to.
Lead back up to 11.
Now that's tragic.
Edu the block. And then Ellison got poked in the eye. A foul is called against UNLV. Foul's on McCall.
And, you know, he's taking some shaky shots. Taylor has, but he made that one. Yeah.
First foul on McCaw.
Marvell Harris better be careful, especially when it comes to taking, for him, you know, on the defensive side, you can control not fouling. The problem is he's a kid who likes to drive it, get to the basket. He's got to beware of the charge.
Officials want to take another look on Caw to see if it was flagrant.
No. He went under for the ball and he missed it, hit him in the face. That's fine. Yeah, that's a nothing. I don't even know why they're looking at this one, to be honest with you. And that's one there. Mike Reed was right there. He's got the foul. Clearly not a flagrant.
McCaw has 20 points. He's 8 of 12 from the floor. And Rodney Terry, with 5:31 to go, is elected to put Marvell Harris back into the ball game, up by 11.
Yeah, like I said, he's got to be careful of the charging foul.
Carter over Zimmerman. That won't go. Offensive rebound to Russo. He's blocked by Zimmerman. Harris saves it. With 5 minutes to go, Fresno State trying to hold on and advance to the semifinals tomorrow. Lewis spins around and out, and here come the running Rebels with numbers. Seagears, nice dish to McCaw.
And that time, Fresno State had no idea where Patrick McCaw was. He was behind the defense, and they didn't see it.
Todd Simon imploring his team to come up with a defensive stop with 4.5 minutes to go. Lewis, tough two. And McCaw quickly the other way, and he's fouled. Stops the clock and sends McCaw to the line. That was a quick shot by Julien Lewis.
Very quick shot. Now you take a look in transition here. Look at McCaw underneath the basket. Russo just not really alert.
Two shots for McCaw. That was on Lewis. That's his third. Patrick McCaw scored 16 of his 22 in the second half. UNLV not a good free throw shooting team this year, 68%, second to last in the Mountain West. Tonight they're 66%. McCaw 1 out of 2. It's an 8-point lead for the Bulldogs.
And here comes the pressure full court. That's not where you want the ball.
Guerrero connects with Russo. Lewis takes a bump, and the foul! That's the fourth on Zimmerman, and Julien Lewis with a chance at a three-point play.
This is where you want to get the ball into the middle of the floor. Russo does a good job of giving it up quickly, and Julien Lewis just does the rest.
So 4 on Zimmerman, 4:09 to go. Fresno State has now scored at least 80 points in 4 consecutive games. And 11 times this year they've scored at least 80. They're 11-0 in those games. Trying to get to 12-0 now and close out the running Rebels as Boiser gets it stuck. Possession arrow favors UNLV. And we have our final media timeout of the evening. Running Rebels down 11, running out of time against Fresno State. And as we mentioned earlier, they have not reached a conference tournament semifinal in 11 years. They are 350 away. A 9-point lead for Fresno State after the bucket by McCaw.
You know, I'm not crazy about Cullen Russo's effort tonight.
Harris bounces it to Carter. He fumbles it around and had it poked away.
Great job, Seegears there.
3-on-2, McCaw. Back out Seegears for 3. Air ball. That would have been a big one. Lewis just chucks it down the court to Harris! Showtime in Vegas!
That time Harris just snuck down the floor. Great pass by Julien Lewis. Alert.
McCaw for 3. Air ball.
And I think Fresno State should keep attacking. We've seen so many leads of 11 points go down in a minute with a minute to go in the game. You need to keep playing.
Russo, wild shot, and then a foul is called on UNLV with Guerrero going up.
Well, you're going to see UNLV just fall asleep here on this air ball. Nobody's back on defense. And it really wasn't Seegears' spot because he took the shot. Poyser should have been back in that situation.
16 points, 5 assists, and 3 rebounds for Marvell Harris tonight, the Mountain West Player of the Year. Guerrero makes the first free throw. That was on Wamu. That's his 3rd. As Terrell Carter goes to the bench, what a nice night he's had.
Carter and Edo in the second half dominated the paint.
13 points, 6 boards for the big fella as Guerrero makes a pair. And Fresno State has its largest lead with 2:50 to go. Seegears. Lewis trap, gets rid of it to Russo, who finds Harris. Harris takes a bump and is fouled. And that's on Zimmerman, his 5th. Zimmerman was the story in the first half. He had 13 points for UNLV. He did not score in the second half, and for the second straight game, he fouls out. And who knows what will happen now with Zimmerman in his future. Could this be the last time he's in a UNLV uniform?
Hard to say what's going to happen. We've got a lot of decisions to make.
A lot of uncertainty to follow this season for UNLV. Who will be the head coach next year? Who will come back in terms of the players? Turnover number 13 for the Runnin' Rebels. Guerrero pulls it back out, trying to run some clock. 2:10 to go. Fresno State on the verge of winning its 23rd game of the year. Harris, that's a 2. Wamu to McCaw and the foul. And that's on Marvell Harris. So he has fouled out of the game.
And you know, if you're Rodney Terry, you're not sitting there looking at this thing that could be points very quickly, playing without your best player, your point guard, your leader.
16 points for the Mountain West Player of the Year, but he is done for the night. And one more free throw now from McCaw, who, if he makes it, will tie his career high of 28, which he set it at Fresno State earlier this year.
And you know UNLV is going to bring the full court pressure here right now if McCaw makes this free throw. And they don't really even have to foul yet. They just got to get another good stop.
And Harris is their best free throw shooter at 76%. Now he's out of the game. McCaw matches his career high of 28 after he had 27 yesterday against Air Force. Guerrero to Russo. So you're not going to foul yet if you're UNLV.
I wouldn't foul. No, I would not. I play another possession like this. Get a stop, get a rebound, and go. Cut it to 6. Call timeout, set up your pressure.
Guerrero gets it to go.
That's why you have to continue to attack. That last possession was a bad possession because they didn't attack.
Wamu missed the dunk. That can't happen if you're UNLV. Wamu has to finish that.
Yeah, that's a bad, obviously a bad miss, and a good job here by Guerrero, attacking. You know, if you want to holding the ball against pressure is a very hard thing to do, and Wamu just putting it off the front of the rim. Could have something to do with those 55 minutes last night.
And he's hardly come out at all tonight either. And UNLV, which has played shorthanded so much this season, appears to be running out of gas here in the Mountain West quarterfinals.
Yeah, this thing's not over yet, but you got to give these kids a lot of credit.
Coming up next, join CBS Sports Network's panel of experts in the studios. They break down all the latest from conference tourney play around the nation on the latest edition of Inside College Basketball, Bracket Week, presented by Kubota, right here on the 24-hour home of CBS Sports. And a timeout called for by Fresno State with 1:19 to go. They lead it by a dozen. As an intercollegiate head coach, just his third year on the staff. He spent 7 years at nearby Finlay Prep as an assistant and head coach for one season. Season scores 10-point game. Taylor brings it across. Final minute of play, and there's the foul by Poyser, his third.
And this is where you got to make free throws. We've seen so many times this year this exact same situation. Miss a free throw, come down and hit a 3, 7. Come, miss a free throw, hit another 3, 4. So, I mean, you got to go to the line and knock these out.
Taylor does not knock it out. He'll have one more. For a Fresno State team that has not been to the NCAA tournament since 2001. If they finish out UNLV here, they're 2 wins away from getting to the big dance.
And, you know, UNLV should just take this thing to the basket because, you know, Fresno State's trying not to foul.
McCaw to the basket. They close out quickly. Seagear's offensive foul.
That was good defense that time by Fresno State.
Seager's on a gimpy heel and now limping down to the other end of the floor.
He looks like he's about had it.
Gutsy effort.
Without a doubt.
By Seagears, and he doesn't want to come out.
Last minutes of his career.
Guerrero is fouled at midcourt by Poyser. Well, you can make the case that in the 3 quarterfinals today, that the team that looked the best is Fresno State. San Diego State really struggled with Utah State. Nevada had a nice win against New Mexico. It was a close game throughout, but Fresno State really from start to finish has been pretty much in control of this ball game.
They've had the lead. They were only tied very early. I don't think they lost the entire game. And here they are. They got 90.
UNLV has never led in this game. Fresno State led by as many as 13, which is the lead right now.
The one thing you don't want to do now at Fresno State is you don't want to foul.
And they foul. Rodney Terry in his 5th season, this win will even his record at 83 and 83. Led the transition for the Bulldogs into the Mountain West. 4th year in this league, and they've been better in terms of their conference wins each and every year.
Whoever they play tomorrow night, they're going to have to defend a lot better.
They'll play the winner of our nightcap here in Vegas between Colorado State and Boise State. That's coming up next on CBS Sports Network.
Two very good offensive teams that don't have only 6 guys.
There's the foul. It's on Poyser. That's his 5th.
Yeah, I don't know if I'd keep fouling here.
It's Poyser's 4th correction. Point Fresno State lead. All smiles on the Bulldogs bench. They'll rest up and get ready for action tomorrow in the late semifinal here at the Thomas & Mack Center. Seagear scores at 17 tonight. And see if UNLV fouls. I think they're going to, well, they are going to foul.
Yeah, that really makes no sense. I think there comes a point where you just got to go shake hands and that's it. Fight another day. And I'll tell you who's helped Rodney Terry a lot is that man there, Jerry Wainwright, right there. We've been friends for a long, long time. He's the head coach at UNC Wilmington, DePaul, and Richmond. A tremendous coach, a better guy, and he came on staff this year, and I'm sure he's helped Rodney Terry a lot.
Associate head coach. A lot of experience for Jerry Wainwright.
We go back to 5-star as young coaches long, long time ago. Good friend, good guy, and a heck of a coach.
Final 10 seconds here at the Thomas & Mack. Wamu misses, and that will do it. For the first time in 11 years, Fresno State will play in a conference tournament semifinal. They end UNLV's season 95-82. Julien Lewis leads the way with 27 for the Bulldogs. Marvell Harris had 16 before fouling out. And Rodney Terry's club is 2 wins away from the NCAA tournament. Look at the updated bracket. And we've got one more to come your way here tonight. Boise State.